back. I'm having problems uploading my videos. I'm having to cut them down and trying to upload them in sections. I put my bread in the oven at 10 after 11. It's 1:40 now because of the videos. I've been trying to do this and try and make it wait. So I'm just going to have to pre-record these and do it. I'm going to show you how to make the homemade icing real quick and then get my bread in the oven. First, we're going to do one more important step, just like greasing your bowl. You want to grease your pans. And there's also a trick to taking them out of the oven when your bread is done. If you cook 2 pans and you have 2 like this, 2 loaves going, 2 pans, you need something to take them out. As soon as you pull it out of the oven, you want to pop it in the sides and pop it loose and dump it out. Leave the other one in the oven until you're ready to pop it out. If you pull them both out and try and do them one at a time, the bottom of your bread will stick to your pan even though it's greased. You should get lucky and it should just fall out because of the grease, but sometimes you have to pop it out. And I've learned from too many times that doing them at the same time, they get stuck. And the first one always comes out easy. The second one, third one, whatever you're doing, is always a pain in the ass. So the trick is to leave it sitting in the oven until you're ready to pop it out real quick. For the homemade icing, you're going to need sugar, some butter, and my Mexican vanilla. Now the trick when you're doing the vanilla, I'll show you. You don't want to pour it in and try and get a drop. I'll show you the trick to making it perfect. Alright. For the butter, depending on how much icing you want to use. Oh yeah, I was going to do this to help you guys out. I'm using the 1 tablespoon measuring cup, which maybe that much. I might do some more. Maybe 2 tablespoons, 1.5 tablespoons is about how much icing I'm gonna make. Got too much shit going on here. Alright. Butter. I'm gonna say a tablespoon of sugar to help you measure if you're a measurer. It makes it really difficult for me to try and do this while I measure because I usually eye it, so I'm trying to help you guys at the same time. Now we're gonna throw it in the microwave, maybe 15 seconds. Take my fork, powdered sugar, that was 8 seconds. So you want to do 8 seconds, maybe a little less. It's alright. You want it a little soupy because you want to help that sugar in there. I actually kind of stir it up first. The butter and the sugar that we just added. Alright, here comes the vanilla. Now the trick is, if you like it really vanilla-y, then you'll be okay. I don't really care for vanilla, but it makes the icing flavor. Mexican blend, backside of your fork, whatever you're going to use. Instead of pouring it in or pouring in the cap, dip it in. That's how much vanilla I'm going to use. Might do one more little drop. That's it. Give that a good little stir to mix it in with the butter and the sugar still. Kind of hold it at an angle like scrambled eggs if you've ever made scrambled eggs in a bowl. Alright, it's mixed in. Powdered sugar. Maybe it's a 1/4 cup. It's just whatever I feel like is enough for it. Might be a 1/2 cup. If it's Tupperware like this and you got a lid, or the dips, I just kind of went that much with the powdered sugar. Now, you just keep mixing until it starts turning into a paste. And it'll be yellow from your butter. It'll start looking like the icing you get with your cinnamon rolls. Now this is where some recipes call for milk. I'm not a big milk drinker. And if you're not either, or you're lactose intolerant, this is another good thing. Now it's just butter and sugar. Doesn't look like much. Normally I go to the fridge and I tap it underneath the water to get me some water. I went ahead and pre-did it to show you that if you use water bottles and you drink out of water bottles, this is literally 2 capfuls of water. You're going to pour it in there. The reason why you wanted to mix your butter and all that stuff first is because the water doesn't connect to it. So if you're like, oh shit, it was too much water, you can hold your mixture away from the water and pour that out and start over. But now, you're just going to mix it in, keep mixing. And it's still just a tad too thick for me, which means you're going to taste the powdered sugar more than anything. And if that's the case, just a tiny, tiny drop of water to help it thin out. And as it thins out, you'll notice it start turning into that consistency and texture and flavor of the icing that you love. And while I was doing this the other day and thinking about this, you could probably take, after you make this, you could probably take an egg white, put it in your bowl with your whisks, and whisk all this ingredients and your egg white together and make a big fluffy icing. I haven't tried it for a cake yet, but that's my next thing. I just add a little more because the butter, you can put it in the fridge, it'll kind of harden back up. I even put a dash of canola oil in it one time to kind of figure out how I wanted to make it, but it stopped it from setting up in the fridge and kept it a little runny. And now you have your icing. I'm going to put this in the fridge. Grab my measuring cup for this other part now. We're going to do the same thing to make your cinnamon and sugar mixture. We're going to need some butter. That much. Depending on how big your bread sheet is going to be is how much butter and mixture you want to make. Same way with your icing. You just play with it until you get it down and you've just made your own recipe. If you change it, it's your own recipe. You guys are learning to make your own recipe, not my recipe. So that much butter, I'm just going to melt it again. And this one you want kind of soupy, like liquidy. And you're going to need sugar, brown sugar, and your butter. This will be nice and hot. So I'm going to start with my cinnamon. Well, I'll start with my sugar, because depending on how much sugar is how much cinnamon you need to add. So if you did a scooping heap like this of sugar, we'll just do half of this thing again. Pour the sugar in there. So that was a half of that. Maybe 2.5 little dashes. Give that a little mixture. Blends together. Now your brown sugar, because your brown sugar will give it that crispy texture once this starts to go. Maybe a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, depending on how much you want to make. And this is a 1 cup measuring cup, and it seems to be almost a 1/4 cup full altogether with everything in it. Now you've made your homemade icing. Here's your homemade cinnamon sugar mixture. You don't want to put this in the fridge because it won't spread easy. Almost looks like applesauce. Now you're good to go. You got your icing made, your cinnamon sugar mixture made. I'm going to stop this video and start a new one to pull the bread out of the oven that's been rising for 2-3 hours since 10 after 11, and it's almost 2 o'clock, 10 till 2.